At exactly 7:12 a.m., 3 HOA board members, clad in matching fleece vests and clutching clipboards like battle shields, marched up to my remote log cabin nestled in the misty foothills of Tennessee. With the precision of a military operation, they pinned a laminated citation to my pine door and posed for a group selfie, grinning as if they just apprehended a master criminal. The catch? My cabin wasn't under their jurisdiction. It wasn't even in their county. My name's Dustin Harrow, a 44-year-old software engineer who swapped the suburban chaos of Elia Estates for this off-grid sanctuary 2 hours away. No Wi-Fi, no nosy neighbors, just a wood-burning stove, a creek brimming with trout, and the promise of peace. I thought I'd left behind the petty politics of homeowner associations when I bought this slice of mountain heaven. I couldn't have been more wrong. Back in Elia Estates, the HOA was ruled by Tamara CVY, a platinum blonde dictator dripping in pearls, her neck gleaming like a chandelier, her vendetta against uninvolved homeowners burning hotter than a summer wildfire. I'd stopped joining their endless Zoom calls after a soul-crushing 4-hour debate over mailbox glossiness levels. Matte versus semi-gloss, a saga that still haunts my dreams. Apparently, my absence painted a bullseye on my back, and Tamara was ready to fire. It all began with a letter delivered by certified mail on a quiet Tuesday morning. Tamara accused me of illegal detachment from community oversight and claimed my cabin violated Elia's aesthetic unity protocols. I laughed it off at first, thinking it was a clerical error. My cabin was 120 miles away, in a different county, untouched by their bylaws. I sent a polite but firm reply, clarifying the mix-up. Tamara's response? A $500 weekly fine for non-compliance with visual expectations. I stared at the letter, wondering if it was a prank. Who in their right mind tries to find someone for a property outside their reach? Then the surveillance started. My neighbor Jerry Blandon called one afternoon, his voice a mix of amusement and concern. He'd spotted Tamara's husband, Roger, flying a drone over the public road near my cabin, filming my property like a low-budget spy flick. Another neighbor, Sarah Hutchinson, caught Tamara herself snapping photos of my compost bin, muttering about feral landscaping after driving 2 hours just to snoop. I started documenting it all for my YouTube channel, MidnightTales, thinking this could make a wild story for my subscribers. The situation took a darker turn when a thick envelope arrived from the HOA's law firm. Inside was a lien notice against my Elia Estates townhouse, my primary residence, claiming I owed $30,000 in unpaid HOA fees tied to off-site structures. My hands shook as I read it. They were trying to seize my actual home over a cabin that had nothing to do with them. I called Clive Hennings, a retired JAG officer turned property lawyer, and showed him the citation, complete with a jurisdiction map they'd included. He nearly fell out of his chair laughing. Someone, likely Tamara, had crudely extended Elia's boundaries with a black Sharpie, looping in my cabin like a kid doodling on a treasure map. Clive filed a countersuit for harassment, fraudulent lien placement, and trespassing, plus cease and desist letters to every board member. But Tamara wasn't one to back down. She doubled her efforts, sending daily violation notices for everything from unauthorized wildlife feeding, I had bird feeders, to improper waste management, my perfectly legal septic system. I uploaded a video to MidnightTales, showing the stack of notices piling up on my cabin table, captioning it, "When your HOA thinks they own the mountains." Then came the twist that turned this absurdity into a spectacle. Clive tipped off Channel 7 News, and they ran a primetime segment titled, "HOA Leader Claims Control Over Unaffiliated Land." The interview with Tamara was pure chaos. With her perfectly coiffed hair and a pearl necklace that screamed, "I'm in charge," she explained her theory of extended governance using hand puppets. A princess for the HOA and a troll for non-compliant homeowners like me. The news anchor's struggle to keep a straight face went viral. I posted a reaction video on MidnightTales, racking up thousands of views. Within days, I had a restraining order against Tamara and her HOA minions. The sheriff in my cabin's actual county, Tom Garrett, issued a statement that had me howling. This land has no HOA and never will. Also, stop stapling laminated notices to trees. That's littering. He'd caught them red-handed during one of their reconnaissance missions. I shared a quote on MidnightTales, and my subscribers ate it up, flooding the comments with laughing emojis. An emergency HOA meeting was called, chaired by a visibly nervous vice president, Harold Simmons. Sarah leaked me the minutes, revealing Tamara had spent over $8,000 of HOA funds on a private investigator and a 5-night stay at a lakeside B&B for surveillance purposes. She'd even bought night vision goggles and a GPS tracker with community money. The homeowners were livid, demanding receipts and Tamara's resignation. At the meeting, she gripped the podium, insisting she was protecting community values. But when Harold revealed the financial records, even her staunchest allies turned. The district attorney got involved after multiple complaints, and Tamara was indicted for misuse of funds and fraud. Her mug shot, lip gloss pristine, hair a chaotic mess, hit the front page of the local paper under the headline, HOA President Goes Rogue. I posted a MidnightTales video breaking down the drama, complete with a dramatic reenactment of her B&B stakeout, which my subscribers called Oscar-worthy. At the trial, Clive presented the sharp altered map as exhibit, pointing out the pirate-style X Tamara had drawn over my cabin. The courtroom erupted in laughter, and the judge banged his gavel 3 times to restore order. Assistant DA Rebecca Morrison was relentless, unveiling a secret Facebook group Tamara ran called Elia Enforcement Squad. It had 43 members who took turns driving to my cabin to photograph violations, earning Starbucks gift cards for their efforts, paid with HOA funds. The most damning evidence was a video from Tamara's own phone. She'd accidentally live-streamed herself at 2 a.m., sneaking onto my property with a measuring tape to document known spacing violations. In the footage, she whispered to Roger about expanded jurisdiction files while measuring the distance between my garden gnomes. I uploaded a clip of this to MidnightTales titled The Great Gnome Conspiracy, and it became my channel's most viewed video. Witnesses piled on. Margaret Pelham, an elderly Elia resident, testified that Tamara tried to get her to sign a petition extending HOA boundaries to all properties owned by residents anywhere in the world. She'd shown up with a PowerPoint on her tablet, complete with animated transitions and corporate music. Another resident, David Krause, revealed Tamara offered his landscaping company $2,000 to plant non-compliant purple petunias in my garden at night. He kept the texts, which Rebecca displayed in court. Tamara took the stand in a navy suit, pearls gleaming, and tried to justify her crusade as protecting property values. But when asked why she targeted my cabin, she admitted it was because I'd skipped the annual HOA potluck 3 years running and never baked for the fundraiser. She called my absence a sign of community detachment disorder, a term she'd invented. The judge rubbed his temples, visibly exhausted. Exhausted. I shared a courtroom sketch of that moment on MidnightTales, captioned, "When your HOA invents a diagnosis." The prosecution revealed Tamara spent $12,000 of her own money on private investigators after the first 2 refused to investigate outside HOA jurisdiction. The third just sent her Google Earth photos. She'd also created fake violation notices with made-up ordinance numbers and tried to get my cabin condemned with false health department reports. Her Project Rustic Compliance binder was the cherry on top. Detailed plans to annex 17 other vacation properties, complete with crayon-drawn maps of the greater Elia Empire spanning 3 states. A forensic accountant uncovered a shadow budget where Tamara hid $40,000 in expenses under miscellaneous beautification and emergency aesthetic response. She'd even bought a used van, painted it like an official HOA patrol vehicle, and slapped on magnetic signs and an amber light bar. I posted a photo of the van on MidnightTales, and my subscribers dubbed it the HOA Batmobile. The verdict was brutal. Tamara was convicted of fraud, embezzlement, harassment, and misuse of fiduciary authority. Judge William Hartley, in a scathing statement, called her actions delusional, vindictive, and borderline psychotic in his 30 years on the bench. She was ordered to pay $50,000 to the HOA and $30,000 to me for legal fees and emotional distress. Her sentence: 1 year in prison, 2 years probation, 300 hours of community service helping HOA dispute victims, and mandatory therapy for power dynamics and boundary issues. Her real estate license was suspended for 5 years, and she was banned from living in any HOA community for a decade post-release. As the judge read the sentence, Tamara's face cycled through red, white, and a bizarre purple. She leapt up, knocking her chair over, and screamed about a conspiracy against dedicated community leaders. Grabbing her gavel, she hurled it at the prosecutor, missing wildly, and ranted about mismatched mailboxes as bailiffs dragged her out. I uploaded the courtroom audio to MidnightTales, and my subscribers turned her rant into a meme frenzy. Now, my cabin's peaceful again. The trout still swim, the stove still crackles, and Tamara's reign is a fading nightmare. I keep my MidnightTales channel updated with lighter stories now, but this saga remains my most epic tale, a warning to anyone thinking HOAs can't go rogue. Trust me, they can, and when they do, it's a wild ride.